What up, guys? Alchemist here, and I got something nice for you. So, I sat here for a while, and I mean for a while, and I was like, okay, let me do my research and stuff. Let me get my review ready and stuff. And I was like, nah, that's not me. You know, that's not me. That seems kind of fake, forced. And even in school, I was great when it came to speeches, and I was like, I never ever wrote down my speeches really. It was just off the dome, improvised. So I was like, I'm gonna keep it real and keep it improvised. So I'm going strictly off my emotions and my facts, and not dwelling too deep into different tangents and stuff like that. So first things first, this is a review, meaning it's my personal opinion most likely to help persuade people on how I feel about the show, and then you take that knowledge on your own on how you decide how you feel about the show. But that does not mean I'm 100% right in that, oh, he's slow, or oh he's 100% right, this show perfect. Like, no, it don't mean none of that. It's just my opinion. You all got your own opinions. Respect each other's opinions in the comment section on how y'all feel about the anime. Tower of God. The way I'm gonna rank this anime is gonna be based on story, characters and their character development, power scaling, because for me personally, I don't like when a show do too much with power. If a person is too OP, or the powers inside the show just doesn't make sense, I don't like this type of stuff. So because of this being like a shonen-ish type anime, I'm gonna bring up power scaling, animation, soundtrack, and then something I learned in school that I definitely stand by is morals and message of the story. What is the story trying to portray when it comes to teaching a life lesson? Stories that don't teach any type of lesson or any type of morals, I feel like is a waste of a story. So if the show don't have a moral of moral of the story, or a lesson to teach, or a message to give off for the viewer to gain after watching the show, I don't think it's that great of a story when it comes to the anime. For example, just for a short example, Naruto, for example, was a story about never giving up and believing in yourself. And whenever people watched that show, it was a lot of people in the world, they started working harder in life because of what Naruto was trying to teach them. So that's why I threw that on my list of an important note. And then last but not least, I want to be myself finding actors on the list, opening and ending song, because I love my music when it comes to anime. But it's just a bonus. It don't define the show. There's plenty of shows out there that don't have amazing opening endings, but the show itself is just top notch. So this is just a bonus, just a bonus Alchemist level point. It doesn't define everything. A quick story of what Tower of God is about. Tower of God is about a boy named Bam, or Ban, however you want to pronounce it, because it's translated from Korean to Japanese to English. I'm sorry if the pronunciation is wrong, but a boy named Bam is basically climbing the Tower of God to meet up with a girl named Rachel that ended up leaving him because she was trying to climb the Tower of God in order to see the stars. Rachel left first. Because of Bam not wanting to leave Rachel, he somehow forced his way into the trials of Tower of a God. The show started off pretty slow, and I know some people may hate this, but for me personally, I love this. The person that ended up making Tower of a God, the series itself, I heard they got a lot of inspiration from Hunter x Hunter and One Piece, which you can clearly see if you watch the show. One of the things this story remind me of is Hunter x Hunter when it comes to the first season, when they was trying to get their Hunter license. Bond remind me of Gon so much, where it's like the character don't really have that much of that big of a protagonist character development, but he's very wholesome and you grow to like him throughout the show. So the first season of Tower of a God so far, which we can only review because that's based off the anime. I'm not gonna bring in the manga in this situation. I'm only reviewing the anime because I don't know nothing about the manga, and I'm gonna keep it that way to keep myself suspenseful. But the first season is basically about Bam going through his trials to try to be worthy enough to challenge the Tower of a God. Same thing like Gon getting his hunter license. So during the story, a lot of plot twists does happen, which I do love about Tower of a God and why I do recommend you watching it. Something that seems so minuscule, like something so simple, like, oh, he's just trying to climb the Tower of a God. A plot that seems so simple ended up having a lot of toss and turns within the story to give a lot of plot twists. It was so many episodes I watched. If you haven't watched my reactions, they are on the channel, a whole playlist. So many episodes I watched where it ended with a plot twist, where it ended very suspenseful to make me really be craving for the next episode to come out for next week. There's a lot of animes that don't really does that impression on a lot of people when they end the episode and they'd be like, okay, well, that was the episode. Tower of God does hit that point where when the episode ends, you're craving to see what happens in the next episode. Well, a lot of people get bored of this anime depending on your type, your cup of tea, basically. This show does start off slow, but even though it started off slow, it does a lot with that slow pace when it comes to building the universe within that anime, which transferred me over to the characters. Like I said, the story is about Bomb chasing after a girl named Rachel, and that's basically the simplest plot without trying to spoil anything. But the characters, the reason why I really love this anime is because the characters, you grow a connection with them. It's like really a big connection with them, and a soft spot at your heart. Back to referencing back to Hunter x Hunter, Tower of God definitely plays the point where the protagonist does not get all of the spotlight within the anime. To be honest, Tower of God, Bomb probably the one that got the least connection when it comes to who gets spotlight within the show. Coon get more of a spotlight. Croc, I forgot his real name, if that is his real name. Croc get more of a spotlight. Even Rachel get more of a spotlight within the show. I love that this anime doesn't play the fact that we only gonna focus on the protagonist and not add no depth to the side characters. This anime definitely gives a lot of depth towards the side characters to make you feel attached to them just as much attached to the main character. I feel like a lot of people have a strong connection with Coon, for example. Coon seems like a side character, but when you watch the anime, he becomes one of your fan favorites. Like you tend to like him more than Bomb, to be honest, because of his character development throughout the show. He has a backstory that we have to learn more about. And because of his backstory, he does go through his inner conflict within the show of not being able to trust people and always being cunning, and it really grows on you he really grows on you as a character within the show. So I really enjoy that they does that, just like how they do in Hunter x Hunter, where Gon is not really the main character they give a lot of depth to. It's the side characters within the universe you gain a really big connection with that draws back to Gon as the main character. Just like in Tower of God, all the side characters get drawn back to Bomb because of his personality of being so wholesome. His personality is so wholesome that it makes the other characters react in a certain way. Like, it makes Coon start trusting people more. It makes the Princess of Jawhead, I believe that's how you pronounce it, start acting in a different way than the stuck-up way they was probably acting at the beginning, because of how wholesome Bomb personality is. And I'm gonna keep referencing back to Hunter x Hunter because, like I said, I feel a strong connection of Hunter x Hunter being the same towards Tower of God, where Gon was his wholesome personality really changed Killua in a way. Like, Coon is like the Killua in Tower of God. Like, Killua personality ended up changing so much because of Gon being so wholesome and trusting people, and Killua being like, why are you doing that? You can't trust them. And then Gon's like, well, wholesome, let's just trust them, There's no reason to be doubtful of them. And then Killua like, what? And then the same thing like with Bomb and Gon, and Bomb and Coon, where Coon feels very cautious too, but he protects Bomb, weaker side when it comes to trusting everyone. Coon got his back. So like I said, the characters, you really fall for them in this show on a deeper level, instead of it just being the side characters getting foreshadowed by the protagonist taking the spotlight. Power scale in this show I really love is because it's not one of them like, oh, well, we know who's the strongest, we know who's gonna win this fight, blah blah blah. every character got their own trait on what they mastered in, whether you're a scout, whether you're a Senju user, controller. Everyone got their own type of trait, that their own skill that they graded, whether you're a spear thrower, to the point where power and scaling doesn't matter. It's more like strategy when it comes to this show. Yeah, when you get later into the show, you do get to see how strong certain people are within the trials of Tower of God when it comes to rankers and stuff. But I feel like you need that in order to show the difference in power scaling when it comes to the protagonist, so you can actually see how strong the protagonists get later down the line when it comes to them training and getting stronger, to see what type of level they can aim for when it comes to strength. But I love when it comes to power scaling, when you have multiple different characters on what they're good at and what they're not good at. You know, every character don't feel like they're useless. They got some type of way to be useful when it comes to going through the trials and trying to help when it comes to strategy. So I really enjoy the power scaling within the show. Animation. This one's gonna be tricky. For me personally, I really enjoy the animation art style they went for in Tower Guide. Even the fighting scenes look pretty smooth to me. You know, they didn't put too much character depth when it comes to the artwork and the characters to make it even less time consuming for them to be smooth with the other type of artwork animation within the show. But others may disagree based on if they really love the webtoon series of the manga, I would say, or I forgot what you called it, but you know what I'm talking about, the comic version of Tower of God. Many people may disagree with me because they used to how Kun them looked and Bomb them looked inside the comic, and it's like, it's kind of, you can't really expect them to just get everything 100% when it comes to the anime adaptation. So I feel like it's nitpicking, but I do understand if some people don't like the way Kun them look within the anime compared to the comic version. So, you know, but to me personally, I give the animation top notch. I didn't see nothing too bad within the anime. I feel like everything looked pretty smooth. So, you know, it get a pass for me when it comes to animation. It's not something like, oh, I can't watch this, it just looks so horrible. Like, no, the animation looks pretty great for how the anime adaptation came out to be. I love the way they try to give it like I said, it looks pretty good to me. It's like a cartoonish, anime-ish type style fused together, but it looks pretty good to me. It's unique. It's a unique drawing style that you don't really see in anime, and it worked out pretty good. Soundtrack. Oh, the soundtrack is so amazing. It's so many times where I got into the show and got really immersed because of the soundtrack playing at that certain moment on the show to make it even more dramatic, make it even more in depth. Like when Kun came out with the whole suitcase powers and they played his theme in the background with the piano, oh my god, that just got me into the show. I was like, Kun MVP. But it's like I said, the soundtrack is so amazing. It did not miss a beat for me. For me personally, the soundtrack was amazing for me. And for me, soundtrack is very important because I feel like soundtrack really set the mood in certain areas in the anime, in any anime, whether it's a sad moment, whether it's a moment the main character talking to ish, whether it's a moment where something dramatic finna happen. I feel like soundtrack is everything. Just picture One Piece, for example. Whenever Luffy and them finna do something very rebellious and you just hear the song, Luffy. You immediately start smiling because you already know it's about to go down. And that's what Tower God really did with soundtrack for me. I felt like the soundtrack played perfectly when it came to when people was fighting and stuff. I really felt like it hit the mood and tone perfectly. Moral and theme of the story they was trying to express, I feel like the message they was trying to get off is everyone is pure until they get backstabbed. And I feel like they was playing off jealousy as well. Throughout the show, they talk about how pure Bomb is and how Kun is like, why is he so pure? Why do I want to protect him so much? It's because Kun been backstabbed before in the past. Kun been done dirty. Even with Croc, with his personality changing from he wanted to fight Bomb so much, now changes to that's my comrade, I don't even want to fight him no more. I want to protect him as well because of how wholesome he is. Even with the Princess Jahab, with the whole betrayal of knocking others down in order to get higher in life. Like, it was so much. The show really plays on survival of betraying others to get higher, and I really feel like that's a great humane standpoint to work off of, because even in life with humans, we get jealous of each other to the point we do get to that point of wanting to sacrifice others be under us in order to gain higher results, even to the point where so many of us were so pure as a kid growing up, and then someone backstabbed us, and that's why we see the world in a different light, and a reason why we act a certain way because of how someone treated us in the past. This anime really plays on that factor, and I really feel like that's an important factor within this show, even to the point where Rachel, I dislike her, but also she's probably one of my favorite antagonists when it comes to anime in a while, because she keep it real, she keep it very humane. We all been there to the point where we were jealous of somebody. Now, whether we acted on them dark motives that we thought of in our head, we all have been to that point where we were jealous of someone doing better than us. And it really makes us like really enjoy her as an antagonist within the show. So I really enjoy the theme this show is going for, and I really hope they keep it up too, on a more humane physiological level. Bonus opening end the song, y'all already know it's great. Y'all seen my reaction to it. It wasn't much to say about that one. The opening song was a banger, and this song is a vibe. There's nothing I can say about that. Now, if I had any cons about this show, it does start off slow. You watching the trailer, you really thought the anime was gonna hit harder than what it is. I wouldn't say Tower of God is a great anime. I would say it's a good anime. I don't think it's up there on My Hero level where everyone's talking about it and it's blowing up. I don't even think it's on Demon Slayer level where everyone's talking about it, it's trending and it's blowing up. I feel like the first season got done dirty a little bit. Even though the anime is good, it slacks because we have to wait for another season. And the thing with anime is that you gotta wait for another season. It's very 50-50 Russian roulette type deal. It's like we may get it, we may not. And it was very sad to see that it only got 13 episodes compared to 24 episodes. And who's to say that we won't get it? But it's also like it is that possibility of us not getting a second season based on how animes work. My Hero ended up getting a great season 1 to the point that it did end up getting further seasons that did get 24 episodes and so. But because of how slow paced Tower of God start off like Hunter x Hunter, where the first season is basically trying to build the characters around the universe to get you more connected to them. When you throw it to a normie, like a person that just want to watch anime for what it is, they may see the anime as much didn't happen. It start off too slow. This is boring, and they end up dropping the anime. And because of that, Tower of God did lose some points. It's a good anime, but it's not a great anime. It should have came off a little bit harder when it comes to the first season. So that's my only con. I feel like it should have came off a little bit harder, because everybody knows Hunter x Hunter, the Hunter license art is not the best art. The best art is with the ants, you know, even with the spiders, art is better than the Hunter license art, even the video game art. So for this to start off at slow pace and then end with only 13 episodes and not getting 24 episodes, it's really bad. It's really bad, because if they had got more episodes, this anime would have did amazing. Because how episode 13 ended, it got everybody so hyped. It was like, oh my god, the potential of this anime. If it had just got like a few more episodes, if it had at least got 24 episodes, we would have really got thrown into the driven plot of the anime. But because we didn't get 24 episodes and we got ended with this suspenseful ending, waiting for a new season, it does drop points for this anime. And I would hate for it to not get a second season because of that. I would hate for it to not get a second season because of that. Because I do feel like this anime has a lot of potential. a lot of potential. Like, I feel like if season 2 dropped tomorrow, it will probably be up there with Demon Slayer and them and My Hero as a banger anime that everyone would enjoy because of how suspenseful the plot has gotten now. But because of it only getting 13 episodes, that's the biggest con of Tower of a God. And just knowing that it may not get a second season because who knows how much popularity it needed for it to get. Like I said, normies, they run into this anime and they may be like, oh, it started off too slow, it got boring to me, compared to people that actually spend the time to continue watching all the episodes. So I don't know. Like I said, I hope it get another season. But that's my review for Tower of God. I say I highly recommend you watch it, give it a try. I'm guarantee you will fall in love with the anime if you enjoy animes like Hunter x Hunter and One Piece and probably like Lupin the Third and stuff like that. If you love animes like that, I feel like you will really fall in love with Tower of God. Hope you guys enjoyed my review. This was my first review. I want to do more of this on the channel. You know, give y'all deeper meaning, you know, deeper thought, in-depth videos instead of just comedy all the time and gaming all the time, you know. So make sure y'all leave a like, make sure y'all comment below if y'all feeling this, subscribe, and until next time, stay up.